In today's video, I'll be showing you guys on how to use the STANIFICENT Enterprise Cloud. Now, the first thing you are going to see is your dashboard. Now, on your dashboard, you'll be able to see the total customers, total inventory items, total invoice, total quotations, total debtors, and every other information about it in here. Now, moving on, if you have to check out the store settings, you're going to see other informations in here. Like in here now, you can place your company name, your business name in here. Let me say, for example, our company name, which is Stanificent Global Technologies. So you can place your company name here, the email, phone number, website, address. All of these informations are going to be showing on your printout. Then you can also go ahead and place your logo. Then place your currency in there. Once you have placed your currency, everything that is just here, you need to fill out every information. Then there's a footer section, so you can also put some footer in there. Anything that you want to be at the bottom of the printout, you can also make sure you place that in here. Then the bank account information. This is where you can actually put all the different bank accounts that you are using in your company, like your first bank account, OP account, different type of account. So you can go ahead and start by just imputing first bank. Then go ahead, impute the bank name. Then you impute the bank number. So I'm going to use a random number. So that's just how it's done. Then you click on add bank. Once you click on add bank, it's going to do that. It's going to add the bank. So you can see that store settings saved. So if I scroll down, you see that the bank is there. First Bank, Stanificent Global. So that has been added. So moving on, you have to add your payment modes, like when a customer make payments, either it be cash, transfer, check, credit. You can also add some other payment mode, like maybe your first bank POS, your OPay POS, like any method of payment you use in your office, you just add it in here. So let me add OPay POS. You can see that OPay POS have been added. The reason why you are adding this is so that when you are creating your receipt, you'll be able to add the payment method, so that you'll be able to keep track on how each and every customers are making their payments. So if you scroll down below, you see different type of different options, like installer price, reseller price. All these are used to categorize different type of prices. So you can go ahead and impute any type that you want. I'm going to explain this further pretty soon. Then let me check what's below. Now this bottom section is all about adding notes. So your receipts and your invoice, or your pro forma invoice. So this note that I'm talking about can be any type of note, like maybe installation note, a way B fee note, any type of notes that you normally add. So if it's a way B note, you can just add way B notes. Then any extra information that you normally add when you are doing way B, you can just add them in here. Once you are done adding it, you click on add note, and it's going to place that note there, so that anybody can just be using it without having to type it every single time. So that's how you actually check out your dashboard and your store settings. Now moving on, there is system settings over here. So the system settings is more about the dates and the time. So as you can see here, you can adjust how it's going to be looking like. Either it's going to start with date, month and year, or month, date and year. So you can adjust that. You can also change your time format to 12 hours, and you can also change your time zone on this section. Once you are done, remember to click on save. Then moving on, there is the customer section. In here, you can actually store the informations of each and every one of your customers. So any customer that you have, you can just go ahead, you save their name. Let me say Andrew. Add the name, add the phone number. I'm just going to use any random phone number just for this video. You can also add their address. You can also add their category. I was talking about this category earlier. So you can just say, okay, this person is a distributor. Then you add customer. So I'm done adding that customer. You can see it over here. Andrew, the phone number is showing, the tier is showing, distributor. So that's it for that. Then the inventory section. This is where you actually, keep track of all your products and store all your products, with their different prices, so you can use them for sales. So Let me say you are saying selling smart glasses. You can just add smart glasses. You can add category if you want to add category. Let me say the category is accessories. Then you can also add the brand. You can add the barcode number. Then you are going to need to add the price. So this is cost price, this is end user price, this is distributor price. So you can add any type of price. Let me say the cost price is 50,000 naira. End user price, let me say end user price is 40,000 naira. Distributor price is 30,000 naira. Then once you are done adding that, you can also add the quantity, like how many you are having available. I made a mistake over here. Smart glasses. So you are going to add the quantity, like how many you have available. Let's say we have 50 available in stock right now in the company. So I'll click add item. So you can see that have been added to our inventory. So this is how you can actually add items into your inventory. Now let's go to the new document section. Now once you get to this new document section, it's all about, taking sales. Let me say a customer come into the office. Let me say Andrew came into the office. All you have to do now is just search for Andrew, since Andrew is already on the database. So you can see Andrew is already over here because he's already stored in the database. But once I click on Andrew, it's going to automatically fill in all the information, like the numbers, even going to fill the tier as distributor. So right now we are going to have to search up what Andrew is buying. So since it's smart glasses that we have in our inventory, so we are going to go with glass. So you can see the smart glasses is going to pop up. So click on smart glasses. Let's say Andrew is buying 5 pieces of smart glasses. Then we're going to add to invoice. So you can see that. So it's right here. Let's say you want to also add additional notes. You can also go ahead and add additional notes. If you want to give Andrew a discount, let's say 5,000 naira discount, you can also give him a discount. So you can see that it have already adjusted from 150,000 to 145,000 as total. So if I'm to remove the discount, it has gone back to 150,000. So that's just how that works. Now there's some other functions in here because right now this document type is actually invoice. So you can see that this is the performer invoice. So let me say I want to turn this to a receipt. Let's say he has made payment. We turn this to a receipt. So once you turn this to a receipt, you have to add a payment method so you can print it out. So these are the payment method I was talking about earlier. So you can see OPay POS. So let me say Andrew paid 100,000 naira to the OPay POS. So we're going to add this payment. Then he also made 50,000 naira transfer. So we're also going to add that. So making it a total of 150,000 naira that have been paid. So you can see that amount received 150,000 naira. So you can see. So some other functions is this document dates, payment due date. So depending on how you normally want to print your receipt, you can also adjust this to your liking. So that's just it for taking sales with the new document section. Also, there's this service rule. With the help of this service rule, if you have to click on it right now, you can actually add any any stuff, like any product that you don't have in your inventory. So let me say there is a particular service that you offer and it's not in your inventory. You can use the service rule. So once you click on service rule, you can just add it. Let me say something like Starlink installation. So you can just manually add that with the help of this service rule. And also you can add the quantity, you can also add the price manually. So that's just the function of the service rule. It helps you to actually add products and services that are not in your inventory. So that's pretty much it for the new document section. Okay. One other thing that you can do in this document section is that you can actually add any account details to your pro forma invoice and your receipt. So all you have to do, you can just select any details that you want to be added to the receipt or the pro forma invoice so that your customer can use it to make payment. And lastly, when you are done with this section, always remember to click save documents. So you have to click on save document. So it's actually going to save that sales. So you can actually see a preview right now at the bottom. So this is the preview. Every single thing is in here. The payment methods are also in here. So you can just easily, save as PDF, save as PNG. You can also print. So it's very simple and, very, very easy to use. Now there is also the view save document section. So in here you can see all your saved document, like all your saved performer invoice, all your receipts and stuff related to that. You can also see your quotation and every single thing on this section. So that's just what this section is used for. So you can also edit receipts, you can delete, you can save. So pretty much that's pretty much what you can do in this section.